there is a way to never have a bad day again. And that way, like this trick, is really simple, and it only takes like 2 seconds or even 1 second. And that trick is simply making the right choice when you wake up. That is it. And this is incredibly important, because like a good start is half the work. Like your first choice, it sets the tone for the rest of the day. So basically this is what it looks like. This is when you just wake up, this is where you're at, and it is neutral, and it can either turn into a good day or it can turn into a bad day. And why the first choice is important is because, like, when you make a good choice, it goes like up. When you make a bad choice, it goes down. It goes towards a bad day. Then, once you've made the first choice, you have another choice to make. So you can either make a good choice or you can make a bad choice. Same with here. Once you made a bad choice, are you going to turn it around or are you going to give in, basically? And then again. And this goes basically on throughout the whole day, because your day is basically like a series of choices. Like every time that you can make a choice every time, like, will I do this or will I do that, will I do this or will I do that? And it is important to start your day with a good choice, because like here, if you start going down, then of course it can go up, but it can never be like a perfect day. So of course there is inertia or this momentum that if you, and that is basically if something is going already, if the momentum is going, it takes energy to change the direction. So if your direction is going up, it is easier to go up again and to go up again. If you're making a bad choice, and this is both positive and negative, because of course you can make good choices in a row, but also if you make one bad choice, then your whole day could become bad. So that is also why making the first choice is the most important. And there is this one thing, how you can make this even a lot easier. So that is by basically planning your day the night before. So I always end my day with a journaling routine. I do like a bit of a brain dump, what happened, one core message I will tell myself for the next day so that I actually improve 1% a day. But what I also do is like write down my priorities and make a planning for the next day. Because if you make a planning, so when I wake up, I will do a creative block. And that creative block is like 2 hours. And what will I do in that creative block? Well, I will have an ID outline. I will make, I will film, I will write, etc. So basically, so when I wake up, I first like drink a glass of water, then I start my creative block. Then I do this, then I do that, then I do that. And I basically write down everything that I do, like from start to finish. Because when you're just waking up, then you have this kind of, and you haven't done this, then there is this decision fatigue. Like, oh, what will I do? And like making a choice, making a decision, it also costs energy. And when you wake up, you want to use all of that energy towards doing the actual work. When you wake up, you don't want to make the planning anymore, because what you have to understand is that when you wake up and when you sleep well, you basically start your day with your brain, or like the amount of energy that you have is like a battery, for example. So this is a battery, and when you like, okay, so assuming that you have like appropriate sleep, like 8 hours of sleep. I sleep 9 hours a day, but like for normally it's like 8 hours sleep, and you take care of your health, you do exercise, you eat well. Assuming you do all of the normal things right, you basically wake up with a battery tank of like 100%. And so everything you do, with every task that you do, with all of the energy that you use, your battery level goes like a bit down. So instead of like 100%, like when, for example, if you wake up and you scroll on social media, the first thing that you do when you wake up, then it costs a lot of energy, because that is like it is very stimulating, but it is also very emotionally draining. So when you wake up with and you like instantly do the scrolling on social media, you've already like 80%. And same with making decisions, for example, because like I said, making decisions already cost energy. So, and there are certain tasks like deep work, for example, creative tasks that require a lot of focus and a lot of creativity. And these tasks, they require a huge part of your brain power, basically. So if you, they require a minimum amount of like 80%. So if you wake up and you do the scrolling on social media, then you need to make more decisions, like will I continue scrolling, or will I eat breakfast, or will I actually do the work? Then it is not 80%, but it is like 70%. And then once you finally start to do something, then and you think, okay, I do need to do the creative work or the deep work, then you only have 70% and it requires 80%. So then you can do it anymore, and then it spirals down. It spirals down because like you can do the work anymore, and like then you get demotivated, and you don't keep your own promises, and then it like spirals all the way down. So first of all, what you need to understand is that you have to do the planning already the night before, because it removes decision fatigue in the morning. So when you wake up with a full tank of 100%, you can spend that towards doing the work that you agreed upon the night before. And then of course, with all of the decisions you make, it goes a bit down, but this is how you have the biggest productive day. So yeah, bye.